What's up, KFG gang? It's your boy B-Boy John 25, but tonight I will be explaining my AEW Dynamite review and highlights you guys to do. Hit that like button, hit that red button, and let's get started. Now, AEW was a fantastic show. It was just a fantastic show. That's all I gotta say, man. AEW Wrestling, AEW invades the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia this evening for the second to last episode of AEW Dynamite ahead of AEW Revolution, the company's first pay-per-view event of 2020. Featuring below are AEW Dynamite results from Wednesday, February 19th, 2020. Pyro explodes as Jim Ross informs us that it is slobber knocker time, and the camera pans the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. AEW Tag Team #1 Contender Battle Royal. This Battle Royal was awesome. This match was awesome. The camera closed on ring announcer Justin Roberts, who formally introduced the AEW Tag Team #1 Contender Battle Royal for a title shot at AEW Revolution. I love Justin Roberts, man. Justin Roberts is an awesome introduction, man. So shouts to Justin Roberts. All right, moving on. With that said, we see all of the tag teams involved in the Battle Royal already standing in their ring gear outside the ring. It should be pointed out that even if one tag team member is eliminated, the team as a whole is not. The remaining member, if he is in the last man standing at the end of the match, can still win the bout for the tag team, for their team as their whole. Scorpion Sky dives into the pile of every single wrestler in the bout, and like a horse of cards, they all collapse, and now guys start climbing to the top, doing big pile of people spots. Jack Evans dives, but gets crowd suffered by the pile of wrestlers out of the ring. He is eliminated. The action continues as Mark Quinn fires up on offense, and Pirate Party start getting some shine spots. The T-Hawk is eliminated. The former champions of the so-called Uncensored, Sky and Frankie Kazarian, are not getting some two-man spots, and that gets the Atlanta fans on their feet. While the match proceeds, we see the Dark Order in the front row. They get on the mic and address the SCU. They said the X-Tie one is coming soon. SCU is then eliminated. The Young Bucks then hit double super kicks to eliminate some more participants. As a brawl breaks out at ringside between the SCU and the Dark Order. The Luchasaurus nails a big boot to eliminate a competitor now. The Bunny makes an appearance to provide a distraction assist for her man, the Butcher and the Blade. As Nick Jackson fires up, the Luchasaurus tries to cut him off, but ends up part of his offensive rally that has the crowd all in on it. However, Running ultimately concludes with his own momentum being his demise as he is eliminated. Now Jungle Boy is launched onto a pile of wrestlers by the Butcher on one side of the ring. Now the fans see the Luchasaurus and the Butcher, the two big boys of the match, as the only two men on their feet at the moment. They start exchanging chops and strikes, with the fans chanting "Boo" and "Yay" for Luchasaurus and the Butcher, respectively. The offensive picks up between the two, with Luchasaurus even doing some rolling on the mat. Private Party gets their chance to shine. A silly string attempt by the two is thwarted as the Inner Circle and powerful duo Santana and Ortiz eliminated Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy. We see Angelico and Luchasaurus squares off now, with Jungle Boy joining in to eliminate Angelico. Now Sammy Guerrero assists in Jungle Boy's elimination as a group of four gang up to eliminate the Luchasaurus, which eliminates Jurassic Express, as a whole. Remaining are now the best friends, Chuck Taylor and Beretta, Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks, The Butcher, Santana, and Ortiz. The best friends are now getting their big hug moment. However, The Butcher breaks it up and eliminates Chucky T. Now Trent Beretta is thrown out by The Butcher. However, he lands on Orange Cassidy, cool as a cucumber. He walks him to the ring apron and he rejoins the match. He sends Blade over the top. Blade stuck while Skinny the cat is thrown out. 5 men are left with 4 teams represented. Santana and Ortiz are the only team that has both guys in place. Also remaining is Matt Jackson, the Butcher, and Trent Beretta. The Bunny and Orange Cassidy have a spot on the floor that sees her kick him in the kick her in the nuts while he had his hand in his jean jacket pocket. Trent is eliminated. Matt Jackson speared the Butcher with both crashing through the ropes onto the floor. Jim Ross says both are still legal if they didn't go over the top. Butcher is eliminated. Remaining in the ring and the only legal men left in the match are Matt Jackson and the Proud and Powerful duo. Santana and Ortiz begin their 2-on-1 assault on Matt, who survives early on. However, a cheap shot from Guevara on the floor leads to a street sweeper from the Inner Circle duo in the ring. After hitting a double team finisher, they throw Matt over the top, but he lands on the apron and rolls back in the ring. He fires up on offense, blasting both Santana and Ortiz with super kicks to eliminate them and nailing the Spanish guy of the Inner Circle with one for good measure. With the eliminations, Matt wins the match for the Young Bucks. Nick joins him in the ring to celebrate as we had our first commercial break of the evening. The winner and new AEW Tag Team title #1 contenders, Matt Jackson and the Young Bucks. Backstage, the hometown boy arrives. Backstage, we see AEW EVP and wrestler Cody Rhodes with his wife and fellow AEW executive on air for Brandy Rhodes as well as their dog. The hometown trio heads through the hallways of the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, ahead of tonight's Cody versus Wardlow match inside a steel cage. The announcers run down tonight's actions. The announcers run down what is still to come tonight. Episode of AEW Dynamite, the second to last before the first AEW pay-per-view of the decade, AEW Revolution, on February 29th. Dr. Britt Baker joins commentary. As they wrap up, they are joined by Dr. Britt Baker, who will serve as a special guest commentator for the next match, which will be contested in the AEW Women's Division. This match is up now. Chris Statlander versus Shanna. This match was decent, but I wasn't excited for this. But I can't get behind the AEW Women's Division. It's just AEW Women's Division just got awful. But anyway, Baker begins doing what she does best, which is talk trash in Blunt's Hill fashion as Shanna makes her way to the ring. And out next is her opponent for this evening, whose JR puts over strong, is Chris Statlander. Rick Knox is still official for this one. The bell sound and here we go. It doesn't take long before the Baker Tony Schiavone banter gets going on commentator. Meanwhile, in the ring, Chris Statlander is taking it to Shanna early on, but Shanna is also get her moments. The Excalibur focus on the action, which now sees Chris Statlander cartwheel her way around the ring. She finished by head scissors her down to the mat. Tony Schiavone boosts. It says Tony Schiavone boosts having his face on a cup of coffee that literally breaks away from the match to show him holding the personality cup of coffee from his own place while he holds a giant smirk on his face. Chris Statlander and Shanna exchange punches back and forth while the crowd chants. While the punch exchange ends with a brilliant power face, and now the strikes are getting mixed up by Chris Statlander, who peppers Shanna with punches and kicks as she takes over the offense as JR takes us to a mid-match commercial. Alright, when we return from the break, Trish Statlander is still in control of the action until she finds herself upside down in her dreads. It's a dread tree of woe in the corner of the ring. Shanna with a big spot in the corner as she starts to fire up on offense. She reverses a Statlander move with a DDT, spiking her on her head. She pounds the mat after getting only two on a pin attempt. Shanna hits Statlander laying on the bottom rope. She charges at her with few steam and blasts her with a drop kick. She covers her, but again only managed to get a 2 count. Chris Statlander turns the tables moments later and hits the tombstone style power driver 1, 2, 3. Chris Statlander wins. Baker gets in one final dig to Tony Schiavone on commentary before leaving the announcer desk. The winner of the match, Chris Statlander. Nyla Rose Vintage. After the AEW Women's Division showcase with Chris Statlander and Shanna as well as Baker on guest commentary, the announcers kick to a video package. Adventures airs focus on the AEW Women's Champion victory by Nyla Rose, who defeated former title holder Rio on last week's AEW Dynamite to become the new champion. After the video, we head to another commercial break. Tony Schiavone interviews Nyla Rose. Big Swole and Chris Statlander confront her. A nearly hoarse Tony Schiavone has the microphone and he stands halfway down the entranceway and reminds us of last week's AEW Women's Champion title change before formally introduced the second ever AEW Women's World Champion, Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose comes out with the title as fire pyro goes off and she poses and her music plays. Tony Schiavone walks up the ramp to approach her at the top of the stage as her music fades. Tony Schiavone congratulates her on winning last week. Nyla Rose thinks Tony Schiavone didn't show enough respect. She goes on to focus on the fans who she refers to as a bunch of annoying little bees buzzing around. She claims she should have been the first AEW Women's World Champion. She says she should be the highest paid woman in the AEW locker room. She informs us that when she gets hungry, she breaks you know what. As Tony Schiavone tries to point to real courage display in last week's title match, Nyla Rose snatches the mic out of his hand and says her courage means nothing. She again addressed the annoying buzzing bees inside State Farm in Atlanta. She points out that she is the Queen Bee, or it is Queen Bee. Or is it Queen Bee? She finished up, and then Chris Statlander, fresh off her victory over Shanna, comes out and approaches Nyla Rose. Then Big Swole comes out and gets in the champion's grill now. Security and AEW officials come out to restore order and keep a fight from breaking out, which is nearly does between Big Swole and Nyla Rose in particular. A video package hyping AEW ring gear debut of Jeff Cobb. A video package began with Chris Jericho talking about having big news for next week during his promo on last week's show. The clip of announcing the AEW debut of the Hitman of the Inner Circle and the Bounty Hunter and machinery of fashion, Jeff Cobb. We see the footage of Jeff Cobb looking unstoppable in the ring at the end of last week's AEW Dynamite show. The video package wraps up with Jericho confirming Jeff Cobb versus Jon Moxley for this week's show. Jon Moxley versus Jeff Cobb. For the familiar theme music of Jon Moxley plays. The lights in the arena dims as Moxley, who is still wearing the eye patch, makes his way to the ring through the crowd as usual. While he heads through the State Farm Arena in Atlanta for his match this week, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and the Excalibur are joined by Taz on commentary. He will be provide guest commentary for our next match. Justin Roberts does the Johnny Moxley introduction in his music phase. The theme music of Jeff Cobb hits the house speakers inside the Georgia-based venue as the most dominant speakers in decades. Jeff Cobb makes his way out. Jeff Cobb stops at ringside, and then the music changes to a song performed by a little group called Fozzy. The fans in Atlanta breaks out singing the song as the champion Chris Jericho, accompanied by the Spanish God Sammy Guevara and the Big Hurt Jake Hager, makes their way down to the ring. They have tickets will be seated ringside for this one. The fans keep singing Jericho's theme long after the music cuts off. The bell sounds and Jeff Cobb immediately charges at Jon Moxley and blasts a belly to belly suplex, which the human suplex machine. Taz breaks down exactly on commentary. A big drop kick from Jeff Cobb knocked the one-eye Moxley out to the floor. The action continues at ringside. Jeff Cobb smashes Moxley's face on the steel ring steps before rolling him back in the ring. Moxley drop kicks Jeff Cobb's legs out and he gets on the ring apron, taking him back to the floor. Both guys are down now as the fans breaks out onto change. The announcers do some in-house promotion by plugging tickets and information for upcoming shows. Jeff Cobb brings Jon Moxley back in the ring and goes back to work on him, blasting him with diving headbutts into the lower back of grounded Moxley. Once again, Jeff Cobb knocks Moxley out to the floor and follows him out. Taz points out Jeff Cobb's something relentless style of offense pressure. Jim Ross takes us to a mid-match commercial. When we return from the commercial, and we see Jeff Cobb still in control of the offense as the match has returned in the ring. Moxley immediately starts taking over once we return from the break, and he appears to be focusing his attack on the leg of the AEW newcomer. Jon Moxley rips the leg around the ring post over and over again from the floor, while Jeff Cobb lays in the ring on his back. As Moxley re-enters the ring, Jeff Cobb body locks and throws him with another spectacularly suplex, which Taz once again breaks down with great details on commentary. As Jeff Cobb delivers more punishment, Jon Moxley hops on his back out of nowhere for a choke attempt. Jeff Cobb shucks him off. Now Jon Moxley rolls for a knee bar, tapping into his inner MMA physiques. Jeff Cobb rolls out to the floor. Jon Moxley goes to the top and launches his body out to the floor, but Jeff Cobb catches him coming down and executes another custom suplex outside the ring. back into the ring now. Moxley is once again firing up, having his moment on offense. He takes Jeff Cobb with tremendous clotheslines. The fans breaking out into a Moxley chant, which spreads throughout the State Farm. The two exchange punches and chops when they return to their feet. Jeff Cobb ends up knocking Moxley down. Jeff Cobb goes for the tour of the island, which Excalibur points out, but Moxley reverses it. Moxley goes for his own pendulum shift finisher, but Jeff Cobb avoids that. Now the two are both going to the top rope. Jeff Cobb hits a superplex, but Jon Moxley holds onto him and rolls him up for the 1-2-3. Moxley wins. The winner of the match, Jon Moxley. After the match, the Inner Circle attacks. Dustin Rhodes and Darby Allin makes their save. After the win, Moxley doesn't even get off of Jeff Cobb and return to his feet before the Inner Circle hits the ring and starts attacking him, using the members of numbers game and heels tactics to their advantage. Dustin Rhodes' music hits and he sprints to the ring, but after getting in a little offensive, the numbers games shallows him as well. Now the lights goes out with only ads still lit up. Then those lights goes out as well. The entire dark arena goes silent. The interpretation and then the familiar theme of Darby Allin plays. He's back, yells Jim Ross as their entire State Farm Arena audience goes berserk. Darby Allin comes out with his skateboard to a Road Warrior pop. He hops on the non-flying hoverboard with wheels and scotch his way to the ring. The energy in the Atlanta arena picks up. Darby Allin starts baseball batting, swinging his skateboard at everything that moves, taking out as many Inner Circle members as possible. Things ends up to where Moxley and Jericho are alone in the ring. They exchange a few punches before Jericho doesn't like the lay of the land. He takes the back door out of the ring and retreats up the ramp with his fellow Inner Circle member as Moxley and Darby Allin stares them down from the ring. We head to another commercial break on the note. AEW Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Bros versus Heyman, Adam Page, and Kenny Omega. This match was awesome. We're back from the break and immediately the music of the Lucha Bros, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Finch play as the Decorate Tag Team heads to the ring for our next match of the evening. JR points out that this should be an intense classic as the Lucha Bros wraps up their ring entrance. From there their music fades and the fans' energy groans as they appreciate the entrance of the champs. With that said, the lights fade and JR asks if we ready for some cowboy stuff. Heyman Adam Page music plays and the fans pop. He makes his way down to the ring by himself with the title belt. And out next his tag team partner from the Elite, Kenny Omega, who brings with him another title belt. Champions action is up next here on AEW Dynamite at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. The Dapper Yapper, as JR refers to him, Justin Whoppers, does the former pre-match introductions for this title affair. We are informed that Bart Ramsberg is the referee for this one. JR questions if that is his real name, as he holds the title up in the air to remind everybody what he's at stake in this contest. The bell sounded and here we go. The fans break out into a cowboy you know what chant several times immediately as Page enjoys early success over Ray Finch. He tags in Omega, who picks up where Page leaves off, taking it to Finch and controlling the action for his team. Omega dominates the action for a few times and now. Heyman rejoins the fun as Both guys hit double team moves on Ray Finch, and Pentagon Jr. questions if we will be seeing the Young Bucks versus Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega at AEW Revolution. If so, how the fans will react to the match as well as the participants in the match itself. Meanwhile, Pentagon Jr. gets a tag, and off the hot tag, he and Finch start flipping and flying all over the place, establishing control of the offense in this title showdown. As JR takes us to a mid-card commercial break. We're back from commercial. We see the Lucha Bros are still in offense driver seat. JR points out on commentary that Omega has been isolated in the ring for the majority of the break, enduring punishment. Finally, Hangman gets the hot tag and comes in the ring, blasting, nailing the Lucha Bros with big shots to another Cowboy you-know-what before attention turns to a Lucha Bros executing moves that finish with one of them hitting a picture-perfect Canadian Destroyer for a big pop. Now we see Pentagon Jr. and Kenny Omega trading chops on the ring apron. Ray Finch comes flying off the top rope with a crazy kick that takes out Omega, who remains on the apron when his leg gets tied up in the ropes as he falls back. Now we hear the Excalibur shoot "Oh my God" as Pentagon and Ray Finch hit absolute insane flying spots to the floor. Now we're back in the ring. Hangman Page nails a Pentagon Jr. with a disgust punch. Texas Tornado carry Von Erich style for a near fall. All four guys are in the ring after Ray Finch hits a missile drop kick from out of nowhere from the top rope to join in on the match. That is losing control in terms of rules and order being uphill. Regardless, as Buckshot Larry accidentally finds Omega not intended Lucha Bros as dejected Hangman exits the ring. To the surprise of the Atlanta crowd, Omega managed to hold on after. The Lucha Bros capitalized on Page mistakes and attempts to pin the Elite members. Somehow, Omega makes a solo comeback, taking out both guys, and he hits a Tiger Driver 98 on Finch for a near fall. JR dumbfounded. Excalibur thinks this is unbelievable. Hangman returns with a leaping Buckshot Larry over the rope as Omega hits a perfect time V-trigger simultaneously. He follows up with the pin 1-2-3. The Champs manage to retain their gold. Hangman has a unique reaction to the match outcome, despite nearly costing the team to lose the gold before returning to help them to retain it. The winners and still the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. After the match, Omega torn between the two words. Omega seems torn between the two now. Three if you count. The Bastard Pac waiting in the wing for him in their Iron Man match on next week's AEW Dynamite, led into the AEW World Tag Team title bout that features the Elite's own Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks, taking on the fellow members of the Elite, Kenny Omega, and his fellow title holder tag team partner Hangman Adam Page. The Young Bucks join Page and Omega after the match as Page grabs Omega's arm on one side to pull him closer to celebrate their victory with a double title pose. Omega is also pulled in the opposite direction by the Young Bucks. Heyman says screw it and rolls out of the ring, grabbing the fans' beer at ringside and chugging it. We head to a commercial break. The first ever AEW action figure created. We return from the break. A video package airs showing a designer of action figures displaying the first official action figure that represents AEW stars. The Young Bucks, Cody, Chris Jericho, and the others are showing their first AEW official AEW action figures. That was pretty cool. How they make action figures, man. But anyway, that was pretty cool. But anyway, the announcers promote upcoming matches. After the action figure video package, we shoot to announcers who run down matches for next week's AEW Dynamite and upcoming AEW Revolution pay-per-view before kicking it into a video package. A steel cage match with video with Taz, R. Anderson, Cody, and more. The video package promotes tonight's steel cage match between Cody and Wardlow per the pre-match stipulations by MJF for his match against Cody at AEW Revolution. The video package highlights the Cody versus Wardlow bout to wrap up by showing Taz, R. Anderson, and Cody on others doing talking head bits to sell the violence, the graphics, brutality that comes with competing inside the dangerous structure. Cody says the city of Atlanta is going to get the best wrestling show they have seen in years. As a result, we're back live and we see smoke boiling out of the ground as the lights dim in color. Spotlights swirl around the ring as the steel cage structure is lowered from the ceiling of the State Farm Arena. JR takes us to a commercial break. A steel cage match, Cody versus Wardlow. This steel cage match was fantastic. I had lots of fun watching this match. We're back live from the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, as we hear Justin Roberts begin the formal pre-introductions for tonight's AEW Dynamite main event, which can only be won via pin, fall, or submission, none by escaping the cage. The music of Wardlow plays and out he comes, accompanied by Maxwell Jacob Friendman himself, MJF. Shouts pre-match instructions at Wardlow as the two head down the ramp and to the ring, which is now fully surrounded by the steel cage structure. Wardlow enters the opening door of the cage as the announcer tells how devastating Wardlow is on offense. Smoke blows and fills the ring as Wardlow is now ready for battle. The lights in the building go out. The spotlight hits the lit up stage, which is filled with smoke and music as played. The American Nightmare begins. The ascents from the floor to the entrance ramp. The music picks up and pyro and fireworks erupts as Cody soaks in the moment before being joined by his wife Brandy Rose and R. Anderson. The trio makes their way down to the ring. A ton of smoke pours out of the entranceway and around the ring. Justin Roberts finished up his pre-match intro for Cody's ring walk. The fans are still going nuts as Cody climbs up the outside of the steel cage and continues to take the moment here in his hometown. Cody says his final words to Brandy and R. Anderson are now prepared to enter the ring inside the steel cage, where he will do battle with Wardlow in this week's AEW Dynamite main event. Okay. Alright. Where do I pick up at? Wait a minute. Here we go, right here. I found it. The bell sounds, and here we go. JR says there is no time limit tonight. You can only win by pinfall or submission. Cody throws a kick at Wardlow. Wardlow none sells it. Now the action gets going for real with Wardlow manhandling Cody early on. Jim Ross takes us to a mid-card commercial. As we return from the break, we see Cody's face has become the crimson mask, and he is drenched of his own blood. The announcers take us to a replay of some highlights of action from the break, where they believe the cut happened. The camera shows Cody is soaking in blood. His blonde hair is completely soaked red and getting dark as the blood continues to follow out of the dome of the hometown boy. The fans break out into Cody chants as the Excalibur tells us on commentary that next week AEW will feature the official the official weights for the AEW World Champion Showdown between Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley at AEW Revolution. As the action continues, as we see Cody crawling to the door of steel cage, which is open but as the announcers pointed out, exiting the cage does not win the match. Arn Anderson and MJF both walk towards the open door that Cody is crawling through. On the outside of the open door is MJF. On the opposite side of AAA, MJF shouts at Anderson to do what was done years ago and smash that steel cage door into Cody's head. Arn, with a serious look on his face, grabbed the door. He paused and yanks it open, even more, smashing into MJF. In the process, as fans pop. Back in the ring, Cody and Wardlow hit a double clothesline that takes each other out. Wardlow shows off good athletic skills now, but he can't finish off. The American Nightmare MJF slips the AEW Dynamite Dustin's Battle Royal ring to Wardlow through the cage. He puts it on and prepares to duck Cody. As he turns, Cody kicks him low and pull off the ring off his fingers. Brandy stops MJF from getting involved again. This leads to a blood-soaked Cody hitting his crossroads finisher on Wardlow. He covers him but only gets a 2 count. Cody now seemingly focused on something being climbing up the cage. We see a glimpse view from the top of arena. As soon as Cody reaches the top without even a second of hesitating, he comes flying off the steel cage with a beautiful moonsault. He covers the big fella to get the 1, 2, 3. What an excellent finish. The winner of the match, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. After the match, the American Nightmare celebrates. Brandy joins Cody in the ring and does Arn Anderson afterwards. They all celebrate as Cody lays on the mat exhausted. The American Nightmare then pops right up. The drenching in blood, and celebrates as he climbs back to the top of the cage, while several cool camera angles re-airs his crazy moonsault off the top of the cage. That was awesome by Cody Rhodes hitting a beautiful moonsault off the top of the cage. That was awesome. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my AEW Dynamite review and highlights, drop a like on this video. Share the video all over social media. My Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below in the description. And I will see you guys tomorrow on Friday Night SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown review and highlights. Talk to you guys later. I'm B-Boy Giant 25, and I'm out of here.